Have you ever stood alone in front of the mirror, looked at the man in it and asked yourself, how much time do I have left? On the outside, everything seems fine. But then, a slight dizziness when you stand up, a skipped heartbeat when you push yourself, a heavy breath after dinner. Those little things. They don't cause pain. But they plant a seed of fear in your heart. It's like the ticking of a time bomb that only you can hear. A ticking that warns of high blood pressure, of aging arteries growing stiff, of a heart attack that could strike without warning. That isn't the fear of death itself. No. At our age, it's a different fear, something more raw and painful. It's the fear of becoming a burden to our wives, to our children. The fear that one day, they will find us helpless on the floor, and the lives of our entire family will change forever because of our own neglect. My name is Bennett, and I'm 76 years old. I understand that fear better than anyone. I've lived with it. I've ignored it. And I paid a heavy price for that ignorance. That near-fatal experience taught me that to truly change, a man doesn't need more information. He needs a story that can save his faith in himself. And today, I want to tell you such a story. A story about a truth so paradoxical it's hard to believe. What if I told you that the most powerful weapon to dissolve stubborn plaque, to cleanse your arteries, to build a strong shield that protects you from the risk of a heart attack, isn't found in expensive prescription bottles, but has been forgotten in your kitchen? A humble white powder, the same kind we use for baking, holds one of the most powerful keys to heart health and blood circulation for men over 60. In this video, I won't just talk theory. I will guide you through 10 science-backed secrets of baking soda, 10 specific applications to turn it into a loyal guardian for your heart. And I promise you this, stay with me until the end. I will reveal a morning elixir recipe that a cardiologist friend shared with me. It didn't just help him lower his blood pressure, it gave him a clean, sustainable source of energy that lasts all day. You won't want to miss that. Now, if you're ready for a journey of discovery that could change your life, let's make a small commitment. Type the 2 words, "my heart," in the comments below, so I know you are here, and that we are on this path together. Alright. Take a deep breath, and let's unlock the first secret together. Before we talk about stubborn plaque, we must first talk about what it's floating in. Your blood. Imagine this for a moment. The blood in your body is like a great river, carrying life to every inch of land, to every single cell. When we were young, that river was clear and flowed swiftly. But over the years, an invisible kind of waste begins to build up. It's not cholesterol, and it's not plaque. It's something much simpler, acidity. Have you ever felt sluggish, heavy in the morning, as if you have to drag your own body out of bed? That is the feeling of the river of life inside you, no longer flowing swiftly, but becoming thick and slow, like a muddy stream. I have a dear friend named George. He once described that feeling to me, saying, "Harold, it feels like someone poured lead into my veins." Every step he took was heavy. He was always tired, even after a full night's sleep. When George went to his doctor, he was told something that many of us rarely pay attention to. His blood was too acidic. And here is the hard truth: when your blood thickens with acid, your heart, acting as a pump that never rests, has to work exponentially harder to push that mud throughout your body. Day after day. That is one of the silent causes of high blood pressure, and it is what exhausts your heart. So, where is the solution? It lies in the simplest principle of chemistry: balance. Groundbreaking research, including a key study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, has revealed an undeniable link between the body's pH level and cardiovascular health. This research showed that when the body becomes acidic, our kidneys have to work overtime to excrete that acid. And did you know? The kidneys are one of the master organs that regulate blood pressure. When you lighten the acid load on your kidneys, you are indirectly rescuing your heart. That is precisely where baking soda comes in. With its unique chemical structure, sodium bicarbonate acts as a natural buffer, gently neutralizing the excess acid. It's not a drug, it's an assistant, helping your body return to the perfect state of balance it was designed for. I explained this to George. He started a small habit, half a teaspoon of baking soda mixed in a glass of warm water each morning, on an empty stomach. The results were beyond anything he expected. 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice full of life. "Harold, I feel light. The heaviness that has plagued me for years is gone. It's as if someone has unclogged the blocked river inside of me." That feeling of lightness, that return of energy, that is the first gift you receive when you restore balance to your body. When your blood circulation improves, not only is your heart's burden lifted, but your entire body is reawakened. So I ask you, sincerely, have you ever felt heavy and tired like George? If the answer is yes, please comment with the number 1 below. If not, comment with a 0. Your simple interaction is a source of priceless encouragement for me. Now, the river's flow has been cleared. But what happens if the riverbanks themselves, your artery walls, are being eroded every day by an even more dangerous enemy? That is the silent fire of inflammation, and we will extinguish it in our second secret. Did you know that right now, there might be a fire smoldering inside your arteries? It doesn't burn you with a real flame. It's a chemical fire, invisible and silent, known to medical science as chronic inflammation. You can't see it, but you feel its consequences every day. It's the sudden aches in your joints. It's skin that feels dry and lifeless. And most dangerously, it's the stiffening of your blood vessels. I have a friend, Robert, a very meticulous man. He ate salads every day, walked, and never smoked. He believed he was doing everything right. However, during a health checkup, his doctor told him something that left him stunned. "Mr. Robert, the lining of your arteries is severely inflamed." This is the tragedy for so many men over 60. We try to avoid cholesterol, but we don't realize that this fire of inflammation is the real culprit. It damages the artery walls, and the body, in a clumsy attempt to put out the fire, uses cholesterol and calcium to patch those damages. Inadvertently, it creates deadly arterial plaque. So how do we extinguish this fire from its very root? The answer is no longer a theory. Scientists at the Medical College of Georgia at Augusta University, in a groundbreaking study published in the prestigious Journal of Immunology, made a startling discovery. They found that when we consume a small amount of baking soda, it sends a chemical message directly to a powerful but often overlooked organ, the spleen. The spleen, the command center of our immune system, upon receiving this signal, instructs the aggressive immune cells that are causing inflammation to stand down. There is no danger. Switch from attack mode to a protective, anti-inflammatory mode. In other words, baking soda doesn't directly put out the fire. It acts as a peacekeeper, persuading your own body to stop harming itself. Robert applied this knowledge. After 2 months, not only did his joint pain decrease, but more importantly, his C-reactive protein, hsCRP, level in the blood, a warning sign for the risk of a heart attack, dropped impressively. This is the power of solving the problem at its source. You're not just clearing out plaque, you're preventing its formation in the first place. That fire could be smoldering inside you, right now. Do you want to learn how to extinguish it, naturally and scientifically? If yes, please comment with the number 2 below. Just one number, but it tells me that you are serious about taking back control of your health. We have put out the fire. But how do we make those pipes, the arteries that have already stiffened, become soft and flexible again? The answer lies in a miracle molecule that our body can produce on its own if given the right support. Let's discover it in our third secret. Do this one thing with me. Right now. Clench your hand into a fist. Very tight. Do you feel the joints in your fingers turning white? Do you feel the tension in your palm? That is precisely what is happening inside the tens of thousands of miles of blood vessels in your body when they are under stress. They constrict. They become rigid. And they force your heart to work in a state of overload. The result of that clenched fist is the terrifyingly high blood pressure number you see on the monitor every day. I will never forget the story of David, an old friend who was once a factory manager. His entire life was a series of stressful days. Even after retiring, his body never truly let go. That fist seemed to have been clenched inside him for years. His blood pressure was very high and responded poorly to conventional medications. So how can we gently open that fist from the inside? The answer lies in a monumental discovery, one that earned the 1998 Nobel Prize in Medicine for three brilliant scientists, Furchtgott, Ignarro, and Murad. They discovered a miracle molecule that our own bodies produce. Its name is nitric oxide, also known as NO. Imagine nitric oxide as a chemical messenger. When it is released, it travels to the walls of the blood vessels and gives a simple command: relax. Widen. Immediately, the blood vessels become soft and flexible again. Blood flows through with ease. And your blood pressure lowers naturally. But there is a problem. The acidic environment and inflammation we discussed earlier are the number one enemies of nitric oxide. They destroy this miracle molecule as soon as it is created. And this is where baking soda shines once again. By creating a more alkaline environment and extinguishing the silent fire of inflammation, baking soda doesn't create nitric oxide, but it protects and enhances the effectiveness of the nitric oxide your body is already producing. It creates the perfect stage for this miracle molecule to perform. David gave it a try. He didn't expect much. But after a month, he told me something more precious than any number on a machine. "Harold, the feeling of tension in my neck and shoulders that I've endured for years is gone. I feel like my body is finally allowed to breathe." And of course, his blood pressure had also dropped significantly. That clenched fist. Do you feel it in your own body every day? Do you feel like you are always wound up like a spring? If you do, please comment with the number 3 below. It's a way for us to acknowledge the problem and be ready to find a solution. So, the blood vessels can now relax. But does our heart muscle have enough fuel, enough oxygen, to powerfully pump that newly freed up blood? That is an entirely different story, and we will unravel it together in our next secret. Have you ever received a precious package delivered right to your door? You hold it in your hands, but you just can't seem to open it? No matter how valuable the gift inside, it becomes completely useless. That is the tragic story happening inside the bodies of so many of us, at this very moment. Your blood, like a faithful courier, has carried the most precious package, oxygen, to the very doorstep of every heart cell. But there's a problem: the cells can't unlock the package to receive it. What is the result? A body that isn't anemic, yet is always in a state of oxygen starvation. You feel out of breath, your mind is foggy, and your heart muscle, despite desperately needing fuel, is not being adequately supplied. I remember Richard, a friend who used to be a mail carrier. He told me, "Harold, I feel like my world is fading in color. Everything is just dull, nothing feels truly alive." That faded feeling is the very sign of body tissues not receiving enough oxygen to function at their best. His heart was still beating, but it was beating weakly, tiredly. Why does this happen? The answer isn't just a theory, it's a foundational principle of physiology known as the Bohr effect. But this isn't just old textbook science. Modern researchers are proving its effectiveness in the most demanding fields. For example, in the world of sports nutrition, studies published in respected journals like the International Journal of Sports Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism have consistently shown that when athletes use baking soda to create a state of mild alkalinity in their bodies, their endurance skyrockets. Why? A major reason is that oxygen release to the muscles is significantly improved. In an alkaline environment, red blood cells release their oxygen cargo much more easily. And ask yourself, which muscle in our body is the greatest endurance athlete of all? It's the heart. It works 24/7. Supplying it with enough oxygen isn't a luxury, it's a condition for survival. Baking soda doesn't create more oxygen. It creates the perfect environment for your body to use oxygen most effectively. It gives your cells the key to unlock and receive the gift of life. After applying a gentle alkalizing protocol, Richard told me something I will never forget: "My world seems to have its color back, Harold. Everything is so vibrant." That vibrancy is the feeling of a body bathed in pure oxygen. When your heart muscle is fully nourished, it will become stronger and more resilient than you can possibly imagine. Do you sometimes feel like your life is a faded picture? A dull, lifeless feeling? If so, please comment with the number 4 below. It's a signal that you're ready to add color back to the canvas of your life. But even when oxygen is delivered to the door, do the power plants inside the cells have enough strength to turn it into energy for the heart to function? That is an even deeper question, and it is our next crucial secret. Have you ever looked at your phone and felt that anxiety when it's down to just 20% battery? Every action has to be calculated. You turn on low power mode, dim the screen, and you don't dare to use heavy apps. You live with the constant fear that it could shut down at any moment. Now, imagine your heart, the greatest engine of all, having to operate in that same low-power mode every single day. It still beats, but with weak, tentative pulses. It still tries to pump blood, but it's no longer strong and decisive like it used to be. That state of being almost out of energy is one of the most dangerous feelings a man can experience. I have a friend named Michael, a former mechanical engineer. He told me, "Harold, my body feels like an engine that has lost its power. I still walk, I still eat, but I no longer have the force to truly live." That feeling of lacking force is the sign of an energy crisis at the cellular level. And that crisis has a scientific name: mitochondrial dysfunction. Inside every single one of your heart muscle cells, there are thousands of tiny power plants called mitochondria. They take the oxygen and nutrients we just talked about and convert them into life-giving energy, ATP. But, the acidic environment from food and from stress creates waste products like lactic acid. This waste is like sludge and garbage, clogging up those tiny power plants. This is no longer a theory. In the fields of anti-aging medicine and cardiometabolic health, top scientists are focusing their research on this very issue. They have proven that a clean, slightly alkaline cellular environment is the prerequisite for mitochondria to function efficiently. Baking soda isn't a new type of fuel. Think of it as a cleanup crew. It neutralizes the acidic sludge, creating a clean space so your power plants can breathe and produce energy optimally. Michael understood this. He began a protocol to alkalize his body. A few months later, he shared something with me that wasn't about being able to walk farther, but something far more precious. "Harold, last week, I was able to chase my 5-year-old grandson around the yard. For the first time in years, I had the energy to live, not just the energy to survive." That feeling of living in low-power mode. Are you experiencing it every day? If you are, please comment with the number 5 below. It's an acknowledgement that you deserve to be fully recharged. But even if the power plants are running well, is the commander of the entire system, your hormones, giving the right orders? That will be an incredible discovery in our 6th secret. Have you ever turned on an old radio, tuned it to the exact frequency of your favorite song, but all you could hear was static, and annoying interference? You know the song is still there. The melody is still playing. But something is blocking it, making the sound distorted and weak. That is precisely what is happening to so many men when they hear their doctor say, "Your testosterone levels are normal." They have the testosterone. The music of their masculinity is still there. But they can't feel it. They are still tired, unmotivated, and the fire inside seems to have faded. All that's left is static. This is one of the most heartbreaking truths I often hear in my conversations. I remember Frank, a retired police officer. He came to see me, not because of an illness, but because of a feeling of emptiness. "Harold, My numbers are all fine, but I don't feel like myself anymore. Where has the man inside of me gone? Frank's problem, and the problem for so many, isn't the amount of testosterone. It lies in something called testosterone receptor sensitivity. Imagine that every cell in your body has a tiny antenna to catch the signal from testosterone. But when your body is acidic and inflamed, those antennas get rusty and dirty. This is the area where leading experts in functional medicine and integrative endocrinology are focusing their research. They don't just look at the numbers from the lab, they investigate how the body actually listens and responds to those hormones. And they have discovered that a clean, alkaline body environment helps to polish those rusty receptors. Baking soda does not increase your testosterone. Make no mistake. It does something much more subtle, it clears the static. It helps your antennas to catch the signal again, so they can clearly hear the commander's orders. Frank started a very gentle alkalizing protocol. 6 weeks later, he returned, and I saw a different light in his eyes. "Harold, I've started wanting to garden again. I want to fix the fence. I feel my motivation coming back. The music is clear again. That manliness isn't always about muscles. It's about motivation, about will, about wanting to wake up and create something. It's about feeling alive, truly alive. Do you feel like the music of your life is full of static? Do you feel that the fire inside is fading, even if you don't know why? If you do, please comment with the number 6 below. It's a way of saying that you're ready to retune your frequency. But even if the signal is clear, are the processing plants in your body clean enough to execute that command effectively? We will talk about the power duo of the liver and kidneys in our next incredible secret. Imagine the city you live in. Now, imagine what would happen if the sanitation workers, the people who collect the trash, all went on strike. After just a few days, garbage would pile up on every street. Foul odors would spread everywhere. And disease would begin to break out. The entire city would become paralyzed, even though the buildings are still standing and the citizens still want to work. A similar disaster is at risk of happening silently inside your body every day if you don't protect your quiet, powerful duo, your liver and kidneys. They are the waste treatment plants of your body. They don't just filter your blood, they neutralize toxins, process old hormones, and eliminate the byproducts of metabolism. I have a friend, Arthur, a man who always complained about feeling toxic from the inside. He didn't have any specific disease, but his mind was always foggy, and his body felt heavy and sluggish. And this isn't speculation. Leading health organizations like the National Kidney Foundation have continuously warned about the close connection between kidney health and cardiovascular disease. They point out that even a mild decline in kidney function can lead to a buildup of toxins and dramatically increase the risk of high blood pressure. When the filtration plants are overloaded, the entire system is in jeopardy. And the greatest burden we place on these two organs is the acid load from our modern diet and lifestyle. Baking soda, once again, acts as a powerful assistant. It doesn't cure liver or kidney disease. It does something simpler. It helps neutralize some of the acid in your bloodstream before it reaches the kidneys, thereby reducing the immense pressure on your body's filters. Arthur adopted a gentle alkalizing protocol, combined with drinking more water. And the change he felt wasn't on a medical device. He told me, "The fog in my head has finally lifted, Harold. For the first time in years, I feel clean from the inside." That feeling of being cleansed. It's a priceless feeling. Do you ever feel clogged, heavy from within, as if something toxic is holding you back? If you do, please comment with the number 7 below. Let's acknowledge it together and find a way to cleanse our bodies. But if we've cleaned the plants, are we still dumping garbage into our bodies every day? The answer lies around your waistline, and it's a secret that might surprise you. Did you know that the most dangerous traitor to your health and your manhood might not be something from the outside? It's an enemy from within. One that lives inside your own body, eats your food, and grows stronger every day. Look down at your own waistline. That stubborn belly fat is not a passive lump of lard. No. It is an active endocrine organ. A traitor that works day and night to produce harmful chemicals, disrupt your hormones, and poison your cardiovascular health. I'll never forget the frustration in the voice of Thomas, a former football coach. He patted his stomach and said, "Harold, this thing is killing me every day. I eat less, I walk more, but it's still there, as if it's mocking my every effort. It's stealing my life." Thomas's frustration is real. And science has discovered why. Here is a truth that many men are never told, that belly fat is a factory producing an enzyme called aromatase. And this enzyme does something incredibly harmful. It converts your precious testosterone into estrogen, the female hormone. Yes, you heard that right. The more belly fat you have, the more testosterone you lose. And when your hormones are out of balance, not only does your motivation decline, but intense cravings for sugar and sweets begin to attack you fiercely. You fall into a vicious cycle: sugar cravings - eating more - gaining more belly fat - losing more testosterone - and craving even more sugar. So how do we break this deadly cycle? The answer lies in stabilizing your body's internal environment. Researchers in the field of functional nutrition have shown that an acidic body often goes hand in hand with unstable blood sugar, the main cause of uncontrollable food cravings. By helping the body rebalance its pH, baking soda acts like a traffic controller. It helps to stabilize blood sugar, calming those sudden and intense sugar, hunger, pangs. When you are no longer a slave to your cravings, you start to regain control. You make better food choices. And your body begins to shift from fat storage mode to fat burning mode. Thomas realized this was the key. He didn't just focus on dieting, he focused on balancing his body. And something amazing happened. "Harold, for the first time in years, I was able to walk past a bakery without feeling it pull me in. I've won back control. I am no longer a slave to my own body." The battle with belly fat and sugar cravings. It's a long, hard fight. Are you in that battle right now? If you are, please comment with the number 8 below. Let me know that you are not alone in this fight. We have talked about the body. But what if I told you that sometimes, the biggest barrier isn't in your muscles or your belly fat, but in the signals your brain is sending? That is the deepest layer of the problem, and it is the final secret we will uncover. I want to ask you one final question, and this one is perhaps the most important of all. Does your body feel safe? No, I'm not asking about safety from external dangers. I'm asking about a feeling of safety from within. Or is your body constantly bracing itself for a fight? Always in a state of ready for the worst. A state of permanent tension that medical science calls fight or flight. Our nervous system is like a two-way switch. One way is fight, controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. It makes your heart beat faster, your blood pressure rise, and your muscles tense up. It's very useful when you're facing a real danger. But the other way is rest and recover, controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system. It slows your heart rate, relaxes your blood vessels, and allows your body to heal itself. The tragedy of modern life is that for so many of us, that switch has become stuck in the fight position. Stress from work, financial worries, past traumas. They hold your body hostage, never allowing it to truly find peace. And here is something few people know: that state of chronic stress creates an extremely acidic environment in your body. And that acidic environment, in a vicious cycle, stimulates the fight nervous system to become even more active. This is where a small action can have a profound meaning. By gently alkalizing your body, you are sending a signal of safety to your nervous system. You are telling it, it's okay. There is no danger here. You can relax. You can turn off the fight switch. Research suggested by work on the kidney-brain connection shows that when the acid load on the kidneys is reduced, the stress signals sent to the brain also decrease. You are not just helping your body, you are helping your mind find peace. I have witnessed this change in so many people. They don't just talk about their blood pressure going down, they talk about a feeling of lightness in their chest. A deeper sleep. A sense of calm when facing daily challenges. They have found a place of peace within their own bodies. That feeling of peace. Do you long for it? Do you feel tired of constantly having to fight every single day? If you do, please comment with the number 9 below. It is a prayer for peace, for yourself. We have gone through 9 secrets, 9 pieces of a larger puzzle. Now, it is time to put them all together. In the next section, I will fulfill my promise. I will share with you the morning elixir recipe, a simple formula that combines all the benefits we've just discussed to create the most powerful, synergistic effect. Have you ever listened to a symphony? You can hear the soaring violin, the majestic trumpet, or the rhythmic drums individually. Each instrument is beautiful in its own right. But only when they all blend, under the direction of a conductor, is a true symphony born. A synergistic power that can move the very soul. Throughout this video, we have talked about baking soda, a wonderful instrument. But now, it is time for the conductor to appear and combine it with other instruments to create a symphony for your cardiovascular health. This is the promise I made to you at the beginning of the video. This recipe is not mine. It belongs to a friend I deeply respect, Dr. Peterson, a retired cardiologist. He told me that after years of prescribing medications to patients, he realized that sustainable change must come from the simplest habits. And this is the recipe he uses every morning, a formula that has not only helped him lower his blood pressure naturally but also maintain an incredible level of energy at the age of 78. That formula combines the power of 3 humble ingredients. The first ingredient, of course, is baking soda, the assistant that alkalizes, fights inflammation, and calms the nervous system. But here is the magic. The second ingredient, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice or organic apple cider vinegar. They are not only rich in antioxidants that protect the vessel walls, but the citric and acetic acids within them also support liver function, a critically important organ for regulating blood fats. When you combine alkaline baking soda with acidic lemon or apple cider vinegar, a small chemical reaction occurs. That gentle fizzing sound you hear is the moment they create a buffered salt, sodium citrate or sodium acetate. This form is extremely easy to absorb and very gentle on the stomach, helping to deliver the benefits of baking soda most optimally. And the third ingredient, the simplest yet most important, a glass of warm water, about 8 ounces, 250 milliliters, to awaken and cleanse the body. The complete formula is 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, 8 ounces, 1 glass, of warm water. Mix them, stir well, and sip it slowly in the morning, on an empty stomach, at least 20 minutes before your first meal. This drink is not just a chemical mixture. It is a ritual. A morning greeting to your body. A promise that you are taking care of it, starting with the smallest things. Are you ready to try this simple formula to create your own symphony of health? If you are ready, please comment with the word "ready" below. Let me know that you now hold the final secret and are prepared for a real change. Now that you have all 10 secrets, what's next? In the final section, I will summarize our entire journey and show you how to get started most safely and effectively. Today, I have given you a set of keys. 10 keys to unlock 10 doors to your health, doors that may have been shut tight by time and neglect. Together, we discovered the key to making your blood flow freely, no longer thick and sluggish. The key to extinguishing the silent fire of inflammation in every artery. The key is to help your blood vessels relax, freeing your heart from the burden of high blood pressure. The key to opening the door for oxygen to flood in and nourish every heart muscle cell. The key to recharging the tiny power plants, giving you strength from within. The key to clearing the static, helping you hear the music of your manhood again. The key to cleansing the two filtration plants, your liver and kidneys. The key that helps you regain control over sugar cravings and stubborn belly fat. And the crucial key that helps turn off the stress switch, bringing peace to your mind. Finally, the master key, the morning symphony, to bring them all together. Now, the keys are in your hand. But before you open any door, I have one important piece of advice that comes from a place of genuine care. I know many of you will worry, Harold, baking soda contains sodium. Won't it raise my blood pressure? That is an incredibly valid question. And the answer is, at the small dose we've discussed, just 1/4 of a teaspoon, the benefits from alkalizing the body and supporting kidney function far outweigh the risk from that small amount of sodium. However, and I want you to listen to this very carefully, if you are being treated for severe kidney disease or are on a very strict sodium-restricted diet under a doctor's supervision, please consult your doctor before you begin. Your safety must always come first. So, how should you start? Very simply. Start slowly, begin with just 1/4 of a teaspoon per day. Take it on an empty stomach, preferably in the morning, 20 to 30 minutes before your first meal. Listen to your body. This is the most important rule. How do you feel? Lighter? More energetic? Let your own body be your guide. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this step is perhaps one of the simplest, yet most meaningful, you can take for your health. Finally, my friends, what we have talked about today is not just about baking soda. It's about having the strength to get down on the floor and play with your grandchild without worrying about a dizzy spell. It's about your wife being able to sleep soundly at night, no longer anxiously listening to your heartbeat. It's about the legacy you leave behind, not money, but the legacy of a strong man, a great oak tree providing shelter for his family. If this journey today has brought you value, even just a little bit of hope or a spark of knowledge, please help me spread this message. Please like this video, not for me, but for the other men out there who also need to hear this. And finally, let me know which of the 10 secrets resonated with you the most. Please comment with that number below. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy, and live long. I'm Harold, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.